Wall Street is now online, baby. That's right. Visit the GW District. Shop the very best in men's and women's apparel and accessories, home decor, office supplies, books, pantry items, and so much more. The GW District is a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media. We're both veteran and Black-owned, and we're bringing you the best online shopping experience with products made by small businesses. Come and experience the GW District difference today at shopgwdistrict.com. That's shopgwdistrict.com. The GW District, a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media.
That's right. That's right.
DJ Payne 1.
All I need is a light and some haze. I get high. All I need is a light and some haze. I get high. All I need is a light and some haze. I get high. Let's blaze one. I get high.
Today.
Doing well. Thank you very much for having me on the show today.
No doubt, man. When you reached out to me, I was like, okay, who is this dude? Who is this dude? And when y'all said, yeah, I have him on the show, man. How's your Saturday been, bro?
It's been good. It's been really good. It's kind of chilly and very fall-like here in the Pacific Northwest. So
okay then. So you're on the other coast. I'm over here on the East Coast.
Yeah. It's fall has started. Our summer ended abruptly, and then it just went right into fall. So,
no doubt, man. It's like, man, just from like looking at your Twitter feed or what have you, I was like, I do on a different level of Dom than I normally talk to, what have you, because I like to respect it from that, what have you, and everything. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this. Let me do my particulars so I can get that out of the way. So we can get into this. Cause this, see, viewers, this has got to be real because this is the second white Dom, actually pure Dom, that I actually had the pleasure of talking to on my podcast. So this is on a different level because he dominates men. You probably dominate more than that, but I'm just saying it's.
Yeah, I mean, I'm defined a little bit like I do identify as heterosexual, so.
Yeah, but even to the point that you know what I'm saying, you get that fetish money. You get where I'm coming from.
Absolutely. Like I provide a safe place for both men and women, although most of my clientele does happen to be men, that they can explore fetishes that don't fall within the realm of traditional kink.
Yes.
And are more emotionally based, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense to me. I'm a Dom myself. Are you feel where I'm coming from? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? See, I like my viewers to understand where we're heading, where we're about to go on this wonderful journey here on the Smokers Lounge.
Right.
So go ahead.
I think lately too, the therapeutic nature of what I do is being seen a little bit more. So it really speaks to humanity when you meet people that already know they're kinky, but they can go deeper and deeper within their kink to get to the emotions behind it, the feelings behind it, the reasons behind it, and the incessant need to not be forgotten, to relive things, to reenact things, to redo things and have another chance or travel through time. I mean, it's so amazing the things you can do once you take the traditional, like tying someone up, beating them with a flogger. Like that's good, but this stuff is just on another level.
Yeah, and it's because we about to say fuck the intro. Okay, Smokers Lounge, you know who it is, you know who sponsor it, you know where to find it. All right, let's go. Look, no, because see, that's the thing I think people don't understand, because BDS supposed to go beyond the realm of sexuality anyway.
Right.
And
And
that's
fetish
facts.
as well. Fetish as well.
Yeah.
Fetish to me holds no gender. If you have a fetish, you can be a female, you can be a male, you can identify as a rhinoceros. I don't care. I want to know what that fetish is. I want to know how we can play with that, how we can extend that, and how you can incorporate that into your life so that that part of your life is covered. So your business life, your professional life can be so much more enriched because you are engaging that part of yourself, the dark shadow side of yourself, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, please tell my listeners and viewers who you are, because normally I say a little bit or what have you that introduce you. So yeah, introduce yourself,
Okay.
man, and tell me who you is and what you are.
Okay.
Break it down to
So
me.
I'm Master Arch. I have been doing financial domination and catering to emotional masochists for a long time, since the Yahoo groups days and AOL chat rooms.
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah,
OG this shit.
yeah. So it just,
Damn, he said Yahoo groups.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
And it just, like, it spawned from just like an incessant need to give people an avenue for their fucked upness. And it just seemed that like the leather community was so marginalized, and so it can only be this, that they weren't talking about the self-hate that existed within that community. They weren't talking about and the need to be degraded by straight men. Like, it just, there's so much unspoken stuff that I was just getting called to cater to, being who I was at that time and presenting how I was at that time. And it just, I wanted to help these people. I wanted to give them that avenue for that, but I also wanted to benefit. Like, you best be paying me therapist wages. Like, it just, this is gonna cost you a lot of money, you know? Because like, it just,
now,
that's
now,
just
now, 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 the interesting part is when people hear financial domination, they automatically think of a woman. Period. With you being a man, explain how your dynamic is different than that what a woman might be.
I think that everybody's motivation in financial domination is different. And you got to remember, like, when I started, there was no findom. Like, nobody knew that word. Nobody knew the word
Yeah.
pig. Simp had never been brought to the surface. Like,
Ain't no
this was
shit about
so.
BDSM. Let's keep it real. The porn for BDSM was coming from Germany, from Europe.
Right,
You want to see
right,
BDSM porn, you feel me?
right. And the community that I was playing in, again, it was so open-minded, it got marginalized. It was so politically correct at that time that everybody was just so tense, and so, just as long as you stayed within that, tying someone up, hitting them with a flogger, maybe a whip, like, it had to follow a certain pattern. And anything outside of that, anything mental, anything emotional, anything financial, was seen as sick. It was seen as taking advantage of people. The old guard didn't know what to make of me. They told me I was pushing gay men back in the closet with the things that I was saying to them at these parties. And it just, again, like, my call to service on this was just that I was getting these guys that wanted non-sexual scenes from a straight guy. They wanted to be degraded, they wanted to be humiliated, they wanted to be used and just destroyed, almost
Let me ask you
destroyed.
this. Now, during that time frame, was it that because BDSM was not as accepted? Because I do realize that BDSM didn't become cool
Mm-hmm.
socially until just recently. You feel what I'm coming from?
Yeah, I know what you're
And the
saying.
thought of you know what I'm saying, the thought of a man degrading another man, you know what I'm saying, whether he was, gay or straight or what have you, probably was kind of whoa, mind blowing. Now it's
Not
like,
necessarily, not
mhm,
necessarily, because when you look at the history of leather culture,
mhm,
the pursuit of masculinity and what
mhm,
one pursues as masculine and masculine behavior,
mhm,
toxic or not,
mhm,
has been around since the 70s and 80s. Like, leather culture and culture of the leatherman, and when you think about that, and like the gay BDSM culture, had it all. They were the ones doing it before the straight people. We're the ones new to it as heterosexuals, coming into it and being part of communities that open. But when I was playing again in the very first days, it was so old guard, new guard that the men wouldn't play anywhere near heterosexuals. The heterosexuals wouldn't play anywhere near gay men. The lesbians wouldn't play anywhere near anybody. Like, it had to be marginalized and compartmentalized in these little boxes so people could feel comfortable playing where they wanted, you know? But it just, again, shaking that up and just not really like caring too much about that and just challenging people to be like, play with a straight guy. You want to serve a straight guy? Serve a straight guy. Yes, I come with a girlfriend. Yes, I have whatever, you know, and it makes people think. It makes people really think about the words that they're using. It puts intention in the actions that they take, you know. It slows their mind down enough that they can really feel again, you know. And I think that when you're talking about male populations, we tend to take things to the extreme a lot to the max. So it just to slow down and to feel and getting in touch with your feelings again is just essential.
Yeah.
You know?
So when you come to your content, because that's what I talk about on my podcast also, because I try to give people some of the education how the business works from the inside out.
Okay.
And like I said, what makes your situation unique is because you in the annals of content is a fetish man. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So it's kind of like with you, it's like explain how you move in the fetish world, because my listeners listen to how women do it. So
Right.
this is a very interesting opportunity to hear how a man moves into the fetish world, how he films, how he come up with the content that he comes up with, how he finds the subs or what have you that he
Okay.
does, what
Okay.
have you, you know,
Okay.
and implement it. Because also this is not just you're filming shit to film shit, you live this.
Yes, absolutely. This is lifestyle for me. The people that are in my thrall, so to speak, are also living this lifestyle, you know. So I'll give the story. This is the one of those stories I tell a lot about Point Dexter, one of my best subs. Like, he is just so loyal. He is he's one of the best for sure, if not, yeah. So when I met him, he contacted me on FetLife. And I had already been kind of posting, like, really in your face, like, this is my life. You either want to support it or whatever. Get in line, kind of, you know.
Same way on
How
Fat
I
Life
live
too.
my life, you know, on other people's money and, you know, just fucking living that findom life. I mean, I don't know how to relate to people that don't live that. I mean, we're supported by people that either have a voyeuristic nature about them or can live vicariously through, you know. There's a bit of a living vicariously through that a lot of people support my life with, but a lot of the content I create is very much like in your face, like I'm spending your money and that's going to be like, it just,
Yes.
life is great when I'm spending other people's money. So Poindexter contacts me. Poindexter
It's
contacts me on FetLife first, and he messages me. He's like, I want to suck your dick. And it's just like, I get that message every day, all day. So it's just
Yeah,
like,
actually, I get that message on Fat Life too. It's just
yeah.
like when you tell guys that do content, that do this business, that you're going to probably have a lot of gay men and
Mhm.
transgender that's going to be your fans. Get over it. We're not joking.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
not
totally.
joking by no
Totally.
freaking
And
means.
at that point, you can just, it's just get in line. You know, it's like the line is so long for that. And yeah. So he's like, he's just like, I bet it would feel so good for me and fulfill my purpose as a cocksucker to just like do that for you. And I'm just like, you know, I could think of something that would make you feel way better. And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, a shopping trip to Gucci. And he's like, he stopped for a minute. Like, there was like a stop in the conversation. And he's just like, I don't know if I can afford that just yet, but I'll be contacting you soon when I can. And I hear that a lot too, you know, just like
Yeah.
the redirection of like, you know, what would make me feel way better than your lips wrapped around my dick? An expense account. Like, you know, like Master Arch over here, bio, I enjoy long walks to the bank, you know, so so he messages me 2 months later and he's like, I've saved some money, I'm ready to go to Gucci, I'm ready to like see and put this to the test. And I'm just like, awesome, we are so on the same page about this. Like, he's willing to do it, he's open-minded enough, he's sacrificed, he's saved, he's fucking made this possible. So we fucking go to Gucci and we drop a bunch. We drop a bunch. It's I don't give total.
He split a bundle, did
Yeah, we got a bunch. I got that two-tone because I gotta have that. And it just, afterwards he was shaking his head and he's like, God damn it, you're right. You're right. You're right. He's like, seeing you in Gucci, just racking up my just credit card bill, just that kid in the candy store look, that look of it being Christmas, like that look that you get on your face. He's like, that is far better than any look I've ever gotten sucking a dick. And I'm just like, I told you. Like, it just, you know, I know I'm right.
See what people don't understand when it comes to the financial domination, being a dom period, is always training.
Yeah.
You're training your fan base when it comes to content. You're training your sub when it comes to how you want them to spend the money. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And it just, to me, I've been doing this long enough that like any person contribute. Any person can send me a gift card, send me a money, whatever it is that they send. But like the things that mean the most to me now are like, come clean my fucking house. Come give me real service. And it just like, those are the things that just really need to be done, you know? And I can't stand that, you know, especially on Twitter. Findom Twitter is so toxic. Like, it promotes so much bad behavior. And not saying that I don't play on an edge, because I play on an edge. I just don't like how the edge is the new norm.
Okay.
You know,
explain, break that down. Break that down to my listeners. Break it down to the viewers.
When I started doing Findom, what we did was like, it was me and like 6 other guys. Shut up. Hey. It was me and like 6 other guys. And for me, meeting these guys that were like emotional masochists as well as cash slaves, that was a heavy trip. That was a really heavy trip. They wanted the feelings. They wanted the feelings around being broke. They wanted the feelings around being degraded. They wanted the feelings around feeling worthless, you know? And like, that's some heavy duty mind play that you have to do to someone to fucking get them to feel that, you know? And it just, this constant like love-hate relationship with Findom of, I love it because it makes me feel good, but I hate it because it erodes at my finances. Like, that whole dichotomy really made a lot of men crazy, you know? And it just, so do we fetishize that? Do we take guys to zero? Do we, you know, take everything they've got? Do we bankrupt them? Do we do all the things? Or do we provide some sort of ethical standard to be like, look, you can do this, but you need to do it to this level? But they're asking me to ruin them. Well, technically, you know, like, who's out there to mentor these people? Who's out there when everybody is saying, I want to relapse this weekend, I'm looking forward to doing poppers and getting drunk this weekend, giving all my money to someone, and the flood of messages that come to them just predatorily to like do that, like, it, you know, like, there's no other part about BDSM that I see where anybody goes into a scene just like, take advantage of me, and all the people just crowd them and take advantage of them, you know?
Yeah.
Except Findom. That's the only place where I see people making themselves open targets for hate, bullying, pressure, you know, whatever the fuck they need to get that released, you know? But that's what I'm saying. In the beginning, it wasn't like that. It was more just like, financial fetishists, guys that fetishized, transactions, or just,
I
so
want to ask you this. Do you think you being a male femdom is taboo when it comes to femdom world? Femdom
no,
world?
I think that I think that there were
Because I mean,
definitely.
because you don't hear about it as much. I mean, you really don't.
No, you don't at all. And I think that you generally don't hear the voice of male sex workers in general. So, like, it goes to speak more about the male sex work population and how we need to be represented and how we need to be, acknowledged for what it is that we do. I mean, I don't want to say I started Findom. I don't want to live with that. I don't want to say that, but it just, when I started, there was nothing around that said we could take money from people like this. Like, it was consensual. We had to fucking cross all of our T's and dot all of our I's to make sure everything was legit. And even then, PayPal would cancel us. Fucking, Amazon would throw it. You know,
Yeah, PayPal is true.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it just, and how do you live a life that people want to support? I mean, fuck hot women and get into cuckold situations, fuck guys' wives for large amounts of money. Go into hedonism 9 times doesn't fucking hurt, like, I live that life. I love sex. I love sex work. I love talking about sex with people and helping them with their problems about it and whatever. I have no college education whatsoever, but it's just everything I need to know about life I learned through online sex work and in
I
person
mean,
sex work.
it's to be honest with you, it's a DIY situation anyway when you look at it.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, I didn't know what I was doing when I was looking for cash slaves back then, and it just, to find people that resonated with, and find people that would pay to be ignored, pay to be, just weird, fucked up things. Like Pointy, again, like Poindexter, convincing someone that a trip to Gucci is better than a blowjob and just training them off that and using that as a springboard to, like, training someone to be a full-time cash slave, It's
Now,
just.
do you now the content? Let's get on that a little bit.
Mhm.
How often do you film? Because be it that you do have a site, a profile where people can see videos of you, what have you. How often do you film? Your
So
content that you put out.
I used to do a lot more, but I found that monetizing a sexy relationship is a real strain on a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like every relationship I'm gonna have is gonna be hot as fuck. Like, and I love the pictures that we take of it, because it just, the people that know me know that I play taboo edges and know that I just put it in people's faces how fucking, yeah, it just, I have very sharp edges. I'll just say that. But as far as filming content, like, me and my girl now, like, we'll snap pictures that capture what it is we're doing, but, like, I'm not on a regular with it. I most of my work has been done through Night Flirt. So again,
Yes, someone pointed
using
me in that direction.
yeah, so just like using systems pre OnlyFans that got me content creation avenues. Like, it just, when I started there, I did a lot more, and now it's mostly custom clips that I do. I've got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cuckolds that really, really love the degradation, that
Mm-hmm.
really, really love the in your face, you could never do this, you are not capable of this. It just, cash cuckolds, foot cuckolds. I mean, it's so niche market stuff that it just, like, the people that contact me for content, like, call me on Night Flirt. Like, let's go verbal, because then I can put something in your head. I don't like putting stuff out on the internet. It stays out there forever. And I've done a lot of content that I'm just like, okay, cool. I did that. It's out there. Great. If you want to see it, I've got it, like, but
Yeah.
that's not where my bread and butter has ever been, because again, it's been gay men that, the ones that want to see me slay pussy are probably in the, like, 20%. So the other 80%, I still have to cater to, and they don't care what the fuck I'm doing. They don't care how many women I fucked last weekend at a swinger party.
And see, that's the thing that I tell women, and now the point has now been proven when it comes to men that it's two ways you can make money in this business without fucking something.
Yeah.
And it's extreme fetish, BDSM, or strong webcam.
Yeah.
So it's like, because when it comes to that fetish, that BDSM, that is a very niche market. Plus, they want the shit to be authentic. Because I'm a real proponent about energy. It's the energy that they see on their screen. They feel, they know if it's real, and they know if it's fake.
And emotion, genuine emotion.
Yes.
The movie that I made that was like the biggest seller for me, like I did very well with, because we had real emotion going on in that movie, and it was people that had never been in a movie before.
Mm-hmm.
So it was done with an art student. We had an art student friend direct it. She was in it too, and it it sold like hotcakes because it just had real. Yeah, people were uncomfortable watching that. Yeah, people were really uncomfortable watching that, but they like that feeling. They love the pit in their stomach that it gives you, because it just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not boy meets girl, boy fucks girl porn. It's like, this has real emotion. Like, I was degrading women in it. I was fucking dehumanizing women. I was cuckweening women. I was, like, the ability to cuckold your girlfriend with your 19-year-old best friend, like, it just, the coordination of all of that and how that just triangulated, and capturing that on film, and capturing the shame, capturing the embarrassment, capturing all those emotions, like, that's the shit people just,
Even when I did slut training video, um, she wanted to be slapped around,
yeah,
pulled around, grabbed
yeah,
around. And even from talking to subs, what have you, it's like they used to sit there and say, "Well, this dude, he had like, he's a dom, but his scene don't even seem real." I mean, they really pay attention to that shit on that
yeah.
side for real.
Yeah. But it's gotta have, and that's the thing. If you're doing that much intimacy, I've only had that much intimacy within the personal relationships I've had. So
Mm-hmm.
again, monetizing that and exploiting that a little bit just didn't, like, I'd rather not do that now. I'm at a really good place now with the person I'm with, that I, if people want to live vicariously through it, I'll put it out there, little bits of it on Twitter, that yes, we role play as brother and
I mean,
sister.
you really don't need to, because let's keep it 100. It's kind of like, if you're making money one way, to me, you that's part. We talk about brands on my show.
Yeah.
That's part of your brand. It's, if it's working and it's making money, what's the point? The only thing you can do is just expand on it, as in different
Yeah.
type videos of degradation of these little bitches.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too. It just, again, I just got back on Twitter, like, coming back into it. It's so overwhelming to just be like, okay, where do I even start? And if they're cool with the fact that I have a girlfriend, if they're cool with the fact that we're brother sister, like, that's already great, because we're already making that content right now for us. We don't I don't make it for anybody but me and her. We like it, we enjoy it, because we don't see it anywhere, and it's still pictures, it's not videos. I don't want people having access to that. I just, still pictures have so much more of an impact. You can have so much more of a, you can put a caption on a picture and make it say 1,000 things. It can be filthy. It can be filthy. Remember Tumblr? It was like
Yeah,
general porn picture, just the random porn picture, and you put brother sister underneath it. You're like, fuck, that's a brother and sister. Like, like,
yeah.
it tells you what you want to see. So it just, using that, again, content for me. Call me on Night Flirt, let's go deep. Call me, pay per minute to talk. That's where the real fucking shit happens. I do hypnosis, I do fucking age regression, I do fucking, heavy fin dom, psychosexual shit that just we can play in the realm of fantasy because we're over the phone with it.
Yeah,
It's
because
the
I
best.
talked to a female dom who did strictly audio, and she was talking about Netflix. I mean, excuse me, not Netflix.
Night
Fuck,
flirt.
night
Netflix.
flirt.
Night flirt and chill, bro. Night
I said I might fuck. I said I might fuck with it. I might fuck with it because
I mean,
it's
dude, there's no reason not to. There's no reason not to. If you have wisdom, if you have open-mindedness enough to know that 90% of the people that are going to be calling you are men, then fucking do it and teach the fucking world what you have to teach them. And if you have a podcast too, I mean, maybe just link that to it somehow and just, I encourage everybody to try their hand in sex
yeah, I
work.
get on my team. I
Yeah.
got to get on my team. So what was your first experience? Tell me about your first experience in lifestyle, being a dog.
First experience in what lifestyle?
Well, excuse me.
I'm a
Your
lot of
first experience when you figured out that you are a dom. Your first sub, what have you.
I think that I've always okay. Since a young age, I've always thought I had the potential to be a really good cult leader. That's real talk. That's real talk right there. Like I just and I
This is why I
always
love podcasting. Go ahead. This is why I love it. Go ahead, brother. I feel you.
so seeing and reading growing up, like hearing what that word meant, like that hit something in me.
Yeah.
Having that much control over people and having blind control over people where they obeyed everything you did. I mean, not to death, obviously, but like just that level of obedience and brainwashing just to follow someone to the ends of earth that had a message that I guess at some point was redeeming, like, and it just, I don't know, the idea of a sex cult sounds kind of fucking fun and just people that believe radical things and do radical things, and it just, I don't know.
I
That
mean,
was always in it for me. And then when I discovered, like, the thing is, I've always been doing sex work too. So, like, when I discovered fetish work and was starting in that, like, I was really happy that the work that I was doing, like this one guy was like, I was choking him out. I was just doing chokeholds on him and he was paying me to choke him out. I'm just like, this is great. I just want to get paid to choke you out. This is fucking amazing. And I started just talking to him about like the whole FinDom idea and what it like getting paid to be a dom, like be a pro dom, be a male pro dom, be a, FinDom. And it just, he's the one that showed me the first Yahoo group. Like again, it was me and four other guys. It was like the village people. I was the Leatherman. We had an Indian. We had a construction worker. Like that was our standard of masculinity, and just the people that came through and wanted to pay us based on what we knew about things or what our specialty was. Like it just, it was groundbreaking. Like we're really speaking to people on an emotional level. Again, these are people that were dying for connection and also had needs to be taken from and feeling something through a screen,
now something that you mentioned at the beginning that I should have asked at the beginning. Explain to people what is the leather culture.
The leather culture. So the leather culture is usually associated with gay male culture. Post World War II, post Vietnam, a lot of guys came back that were gay that really needed regiment, really needed ritual. It's where a lot of the early biker gangs came from. So it's just there's a lot of ritual and routine around that. There's a lot of humiliation around that. There's a lot of like hazing that goes on, male hazing and like male ritual around that. And that kind of evolved into gay leather culture. I mean, it just Tom of Finland, all the original like leather icons just kind of, it was rough. It wasn't Nelly. It wasn't, it wasn't the alternative. It gave a real rough edge to being gay, and it really it signified being masculine, it signified being edgy, it signified being, leather. I mean, it's if you can wear it, you've earned it, That's all it
Yeah,
was.
I ain't never think of it in that situation when it
Yeah,
came to with the bike clubs and
yep, that's where it all originated. It was guys that came back from war that were really, really into being told what to do or giving orders to people, and the brotherhood, and I mean, they were gay, so they found other guys that were gay and had to fucking live it secretive and quick, and hot encounters, and
see. I think the world love BDSM. They just don't realize it.
I could see
they
where you'd say that. I could see where you'd say that.
because even to the point that, like, for example, like when I explained to somebody where bukkake really came from, and
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "Yeah, it was supposed to be humiliation." So
Mm-hmm.
it actually comes from a BDSM somewhat background, if you want to be honest.
But when you talk about that as well, you're noticing the fucking link here of it's a feeling.
Yeah,
It's not just a sensation, which is what most
yeah,
people, again, BDSM gives plenty of opportunity for sensation. It gives you the
yeah,
opportunity to be restrained, it gives you the opportunity to be whipped, flogged, spanked, paddled, whatever. But when you remove all of that and are able to touch someone from the inside and make them feel a certain type of way, that's the shit. That's the shit, man. Like, it just,
yeah.
and it's like, for me, training someone, be it male or female, is the most rewarding thing in the world, to just see their mind just click, just change, just go from like their way of thought to your way of thought, and seeing that they trust your way of thought to be either superior or more comfortable to them than their way of thought, and just that's submission to me. And it just, you don't, that connection is so beautiful.
Yeah, because even with me, when someone asks me, well, like, what do you got being a dom? I said, the person submitting. I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's not about sex for me. It's the mental side of
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
The
Yep.
fact that I can sit there, I ain't got to have sex with her. She can sit there and be on all fours. I can put my foot on her back while I'm on the couch,
Yep.
the
Yep.
footstool.
Yep.
I can
Yep.
tell her to clean the house. I can do. It's control, and that I always said is that the sub is the most important part of this, because they're giving up the energy for us to control the energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Period. Because at the end of the day, that's the greatest gift is submission.
I mean, that and shopping trips to Gucci.
I mean, I'm sorry. I know you was like cheesing like a motherfucker.
Dude, I'm saying, like, it just,
I
I
know
don't
you
know how to
like this
relate to
can't be
people.
happening.
Yeah. It just, I mean, there have been many times in this whole FinDom journey that I've looked at myself and, like, how did you get here? How did you make this possible? Like,
I'm saying it's because, and see too, the biggest misconception that dudes gonna automatically, because they listed as straight dudes or what have you, is the misconception that you're doing gay shit to get it done, or what is considered gay shit per se. You
I
feel what I'm saying? And it's not have anything to do with sexuality, gay or anything. It's a mental aspect. It's
and
mental.
let me shake up your client base a little bit, if I might.
Hmm.
The guys that usually claim gay shit first,
Yeah.
dot
Hit
dot
dog holler.
dot. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah,
Hit dog holler.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So you tie guys up. Tell me more about that. Yeah, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a neighbor that, like, he just looked at me. He walked by. I was living with two women at the time, and
Yeah.
we were filming porn out of the basement in a dungeon. And he walked by. He just gave me dirty looks every day. And then he walked by one day. He's like, so let me get this straight, are you sleeping with both of these girls? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that's the shit. He couldn't fucking believe it. He was like, that's awesome. He's like, well, as long as you ain't doing any of that whips and chain shit, I know you're probably okay. I'm like, well, actually. And he was just like, what? And I'm just like, the basement. You might, he's like, what do you mean the basement? I'm like, that's where my dungeon is. And he's just like, oh my God, he couldn't, but he was like, he was so like, you beat dudes, man. That's not right.
Yeah.
Like, that's some gay shit. But like a week later, it's like, I want to see your basement. And he's like, so like these guys, like, what do you do to them? Like, show me. It's just like, come on, what do you? Yeah.
No, it's like one of my favorite scenes from a movie called Legends with Tom Hardy, and he was playing like these two twin gangsters, and it was showing the scandal that happened in, I guess, in England with one of the parliament people supposed to be gay or what have you. And
Right.
he's sitting there slapping the dude on the ass saying, "Look at me. Don't look at me. Look at me. Don't look at me." I said,
Yeah.
that's the type of shit I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
See,
Exactly. It just.
and it's kind of like that's why it's the problem with I think men in this day and age is that they don't understand the power of their masculinity. They're more scared of their masculinity and shamed of it more so than the power of it. You get what I'm coming
Yeah.
from?
I understand what you're saying for sure. And I don't think there's not much avenue given to a vanilla guy to release that power or acknowledge that power safely. I don't think the vanilla world has avenues for that. Like with BDSM, we can go to a munch, we can meet people that are into power exchange, we can meet people that are into BDSM, we can, there's an avenue for that. And it's okay still to be controlling. It's still okay to be alpha. It's still okay to be, as long as it's not toxic, be who you want to be, but I think that when you get people that have never had power, are drunk on power, like those are the people to watch out for in the BDSM scene. Those are the predators that I see immediately
Yeah.
before anybody else does, because it's just like you've never been to a party before, or you've never had a girl do this for you before, have you? Like it's so apparent, and you just see it in their eyes. You're like, okay, stop there. We're good. We've had enough of you. It's just, you got to keep them in check, because that drunk on power shit, like it
Yeah,
turns horrible.
because sometimes I think ever since we all know the book, and we always make a joke about the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That now every dude says he's a dom.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want you to speak because actually you've been a dom way longer than me, period, and on a different level. Speak to what makes a dom so they can understand this.
Okay. So I don't know how to explain. Like, for me, I can read something. I got something to read. I could read that. I'll use my words exactly and tell you exactly what it is that makes a dom.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one sec.
Because especially with the guys, because this particular directed with the guys, it's like you have a lot of them don't understand the true meaning of it. You feel me?
Well, yeah, I agree, and I think that nobody's really
And the
talking about it.
purpose.
Yeah, nobody's really talking about it.
Yeah.
So what I wrote is, it's the ability to see past your own father's ignorance and issues with sensitivity and separate to be your own. That's number one. It's to listen to the needs of the world and provide an outlet. It's the ability to create seeds that grow into ideas and principles, or even vast orchards of rooted, proven fact values that feed whole communities. It's to reclaim fear and terror and replace it with acceptance and safety. It's to be an advocate for other men. BDSM was created by men. It was also created by boys. So there's that. It
Yeah.
there is that. Um,
That is a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Yep.
is it to be a man or take it like a man and bottle that feeling away? Get therapy, cry, fuck, marry, kill? Is it the ability to be consciously strong in stature and sharp in mind? It is the ability to harness one's own disabilities and turn them into assets. It is the ability to provide balance. It is the ability to produce Xanax in the same capacity adrenaline and testosterone are made. It's the ability to say, I've seen enough titties in my life, and why would I ever want to do that and decline ever going to a strip club ever again? That's real. I don't get along with strippers because we're in the same business. It's just like, I'm here to support my friend.
I ain't been to a strip club. I don't know where they at around this area.
It doesn't interest me. It doesn't interest me.
Not really.
At all. So, is it the need to want to cheat on your wife and really fucking hurt her and have a full-on affair, but for one night at a time right in front of her? That's a good one. To fight for good when others sees weakness. To be ethical in spirit, but not in principle. To be a brother when needed. What situation calls for mandatory brother space in relation to, say, husband space, daddy space, or male stereotype of master space? Any of that. Like, we're brothers. We're, you have to acknowledge every part of who you are. You have to do that. To be upset and hurt by men that were driven by wealth, pussy, and power, and give it right back to them by fucking their wives and taking their cash and being supported like the son they never had. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Where you read this from?
No, this is what I said. I wrote this on.
You wrote this? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
That's my answer. Those are my answers. Those are the things that you ask what it means to be a dom. Those are things that I came up with.
That's deep. That's deep.
It involves so much. It involves generational healing. It involves fucking the ability to see past normal fucking stereotypes. I mean, dude, people have more of a problem with me being brother sister than they do with the daddy little girl thing. Like, everybody's a daddy these days. It's like, oh, I've got a little girl. I'm a daddy. It's like, no, I'm a big brother. Like, I am so much more a big brother than a daddy. And people they're so offended by that. They're so
hung up on the title. That's what it is. Not the dynamic, but the title.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it puts a lump in your stomach. That's why I fucking do it. Does to me too. That's why we play the way we do. But it just, what makes a dom? All that.
So with that, people, we now came to an end of another wonderful episode. So with that being said, first of all, I already know the answer, but can I call you a smoke buddy? Because I definitely got to bring you back on the show, man.
Sure, absolutely. Anytime.
No doubt. So tell everybody where they can spend money on you and where they can find you.
Night Flirt is good. Contacting me on Twitter is good, at allforarch, or allformasterarch.com. That's a good place to just tribute and not talk to me, which is generally preferred. But if you got something to say, you can call me on Night Flirt and pay per minute. I'll listen.
No doubt. There you go. See, people, I give them different perspectives from everywhere, people. That's how I do. So with that being said, life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? If you didn't learn anything, smoke this over. Say goodbye to the people, man.
Yeah, man. Nice. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. Now this shit here is that shit you get fucked up on, baby. Word. I smoke too much, I drink too much, I fuck too much. All I wanna do is put them in the guts, say what? Put them in the guts, say what? Put them in the guts. I smoke too much, I drink too much, I fuck too much. All I wanna do is put them in the guts, say what? Put them in the guts, say what? Put them in the guts.
Hey yo, I smoke crops, sell rocks and mush cops. Cause I gotta have my cream like you gotta have your pops. And I won't stop till I get the Dow Jones stock. I need my pockets looking bumpy like a crop. A derm child, started smoking with the black in mouth, but quickly turned the reefer wife and pulled tobacco out. I call my hydro trout and my man Gabby got the crypto that'll make your mama shout. Before I rhyme, I chase liquor with liquor, so it can hit my liver quicker, so my flows will be sicker. So take the picture, since a young dude kept an attitude, and my only gratitude is your body latitude. Fuck a hold on call, now a bitch is mad at you. And tell her I don't know why I do what I do. I treat these hoes like my hair, cut them off and get them right back. I guess they just growing me like that.
I smoke too much, I drink too much, I fuck too much. All I wanna do is put them in the guts, say what? Put them in the guts, say what? Put them in the guts. I smoke too much, I drink too much, I fuck too much. All I wanna do is put them in the guts, say what? Put them in the guts, say what? Put them in